Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. Just wanted to let everyone know I'm here. Let's get this pre-stream started. Not that we're in any big rush today, that's for sure. I am Darkside Phil. Welcome to today's gameplay stream. Today is Monday, January 23rd, 2017. Quite the exciting and eventful day. It's actually going to be one of my most busy days, at least so far this year, and probably, honestly, overall one of the busiest days of the year. Okay, because of the amount of stuff that I'm doing here. So, hello everyone. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. So this is the first of two gameplay streams, okay? Normally I would only do one, but today is a special day. A lot going on, alright? So here's the deal. Right now, this first gameplay stream is going to be the conclusion of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, a game that I've been playing for almost a month now, on and off. You know, I did take a 2-week hiatus there to do Dark Souls The Redemption run, which was quite fun. And, finally, I get to finish it up, which is good. This is the only Zelda game, major Zelda game in the modern series of Zelda games that really I hadn't played. You know, there's a few I haven't played on 3DS and stuff like that. Like, I never played, Four Swords Adventures. I never played Spirit Tracks. I never played, well, I own the, oh god, what was it? Not A Link to the Past. What's the other one? The one that came out on 3DS a few years ago. Because I bought it and I never even had a chance to really play it. I can't remember what the hell it was called. I have no recollection now. Damn, I have it. It's over there in my case of games. But, as for A Link Between Worlds, that's what it was called. Thank you to the people in the stream chat. A couple people just said that. Nerve and King Green just said that. This is basically for consoles, you know, the only real major console Zelda that I had not played, and this is kind of one of the most important ones to play, because this is the one off of which the entire Zelda universe has really been built. You know, after this game, at the end, apparently, there's 3 timelines. One in which Link was successful in I guess, beating Ganondorf. One in which he was unsuccessful. I guess there's one where he's a kid. I don't know. I still don't understand it. Fully, anyway. I just know that based off of, like, 3 possibilities of how this game ends, that determines the plot lines for future Zelda games. And so it was important, I think, for me to play this game. Number one, because I wanted that. I wanted to get that background before Breath of the Wild came out. Especially because no one really knows where Breath of the Wild is going to be in the Zelda timeline yet. No one knows. Number two, because this is a game that I owned on the Nintendo... Well, excuse me. Did I own it? I don't even remember. I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I owned this on the Nintendo 64. And I did not like it. I did not enjoy it at all, being that the game was very cryptic. You basically had to wander around, not knowing what you were doing. Back then, it wasn't like today. Okay. Back then, in the 1990s, just, you know, for those who want some perspective, there was no game facts, there was no online wikis, there was no YouTube. So if you wanted to figure out how to find hidden stuff in a game, you had 2 options. You could either find out from a friend who maybe owns the game and heard it from someone else, or you could buy a strategy guide and or a video game magazine. And for me, yeah, I understand that there's a certain kind of gamer that excuse me, that maybe likes to wander around endlessly looking for solutions and looking for where to go for this kind of stuff. I was not one of them, certainly in the 1990s. And I remember playing this. I remember I got to the point where it was open world, and you're wandering around trying to figure out where's the dungeon I'm supposed to go to. What am I supposed to be doing? And I ended up not liking it. Okay, now here I am many years later. Okay, many years later. And I certainly appreciate it now. Okay, I definitely get it. After having played through the majority of the game at this point, I certainly understand why people hold this game up to such a high regard. It makes sense. You know, there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of things about this game that are actually surprising that it's in a game that's so old. I mean, this game's, again, from the 1990s, mid-1990s. And this game has a lot of elements, you know, that were, for the first time, in a 3D environment. You know what I mean? Implementing a hook shot in a 3D environment where you're looking up and you're looking all around, the lens of truth, revealing hidden things. These are the kind of things that hadn't really been done in Zelda before. So, pretty cool to see that this game was the one that took the Zelda franchise into 3D, the 3D realm. So now I kind of get it. I do like the game a lot. Is it necessarily my favorite Zelda game? No, definitely not. Probably for all time, my favorite Zelda game is going to be Link to the Past. Of all the modern Zelda games that I've played, I'd probably say I liked Wind Waker and I liked Twilight Princess quite a lot. I thought Skyward Sword was okay, but I did dislike the gimmick of Skyward Sword with the stupid fucking Wiimote that you had to use for stuff. But I did like the plotline of Skyward Sword, that it was kind of like the prequel, the prerequisite of all the other Zelda games, like the origin story. That was kind of cool. Majora's Mask was a different kind of Zelda, honestly, with all the masks and puzzles and stuff that you had to solve. You know what I mean? It was very different. So anyway, I definitely like this game. I'm happy to be finishing it today. Now, here's the deal. First of all, I know that there's a few side missions and side content things I didn't finish. Things I didn't even know existed in the game. Someone sent me a link to a video explaining how to do the... Or not a video, a kind of like a wiki. Explaining how to do a Bigoron's Sword quest. I'm not doing it. It is crazy. It needs you to trade like 10 to 12 items. A lot of the stuff is timed. You have to go from point A to point B in the game without fast traveling and hurry up to deliver something within a certain time period. I'm not doing it. In addition, apparently this sword is very overpowered anyway. Like, it's intentionally difficult to do this quest. It's not necessary to beat the game. So... And by the way, I apologize. I have a tickle in my throat that's bothering me. Yeah, a tickle in the bottom of my throat that's been making me choke here out of nowhere. Ugh. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not doing that. It's just too time consuming. What I may do, since I did attempt it, and I failed at it, now that I have the final abilities of the game, perhaps now what I'll do is head back over to the Gerudo training center and do the Gerudo, training and finish that up. Because I did get pretty far, right? I did get pretty far in it, and then I couldn't finish it because I didn't have, like, the hover boots. And I believe, what was the other thing? The gauntlets that let you lift the heavier rocks or whatever. I couldn't finish it up. So, maybe I'll go back and do that. Okay? Outside of that, really, the only other major thing to do is to finish the game. Which I believe all you do, there's apparently one dungeon / castle, I guess. And then the final fight with Ganon. If I were just to do that... It would probably take me, honestly, maybe an hour to an hour and a half, and that would be the end of the game today on stream. So, I mean, I could do a very short stream. I don't know if I want to do that. I think at least if I do the Gerudo training, out of which I've already gotten 3 of the keys, I think, right? No, I think I got 4 or 5 of the keys, actually. Then I could, at least get a little bit more out of the game. So I'm thinking that's probably what I'll do. I'll do the Gerudo training first, and then I'll finish the game up, okay? Now, if I finish the game early on stream, that's perfectly fine. I've got lots of other stuff to do today. First of all, Yesterday was my Twitch and Chill marathon, which really ended up being more of a troll and chill marathon. But it was very fun. It was very interactive. Most of the stuff that I did was completely interactive with people who were watching on stream live. And I had a ton of fun with it. The overall overwhelming feedback I've gotten from people is that it was a really fun event. People enjoyed it. And they actually hope that I'll do it more as a regular thing. I really enjoyed doing it. It was something very different. And I think that, as I move forward here, especially during times when maybe it's a little bit slower, and there's time to do it, I may do, streams like that in the future. Hell, they might even be more impromptu than anything else. A day when maybe I'm just so burnt out on other stuff and I want to do something completely different, okay? But we'll see. But anyway, that took up my whole day yesterday. So I didn't get to do the weekend preview. A lot of people are probably scratching their heads saying, what the hell, Phil always puts out the weekend preview on Sunday. Where the hell was it? No weekend preview. Weird, right? So tonight, I want to do the weekend preview before I play the new release tonight, which we'll talk about in a moment. So if I finish this stream a little bit earlier, that's great. It means that I'll have the opportunity to do the weekend preview, film it, and release it. If not, I'm going to squeeze it in right after I eat my dinner tonight. And then later tonight, at 9 p.m. Pacific time, okay? 9 p.m. Pacific time is the release of Resident Evil 7, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And yes, I will be doing a special premiere stream. It'll be about a 2-hour long stream starting at 9 p.m. and going till around 11-ish. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. I'm certainly not promising any more than that, but I'm thinking it's going to be around a 2-hour long session or whatever, okay? So, that should be fun. The first late night premiere stream that I'm doing in 2017. I mean, there are a few others that I'm actually looking into doing as well. I won't get too far ahead of myself here, but there's a few other games that I'm pretty interested in that I think I'll be doing special streams for, okay? So we'll see. But yeah, tonight, very excited for the premiere of Resident Evil 7, okay? I'm very interested to see what this game is. After the demo being so different from what we've seen in previous Resident Evil games, I'm very curious to see what the game ends up actually being. Alright? So that's tonight at 9 p.m. So, very busy day for me, concluding Ocarina, filming the weekend preview, and then a special Resident Evil stream later tonight. If you can't be here for the stream later tonight, don't worry. I'm going to upload those videos overnight to DSPGaming, and then tomorrow, all day, I'm going to be playing Resident Evil 7, okay? So that's tomorrow, all day long, Resident Evil 7 here on the stream. Hopefully you'll join me for that. Outside of all that, I don't have too much else to talk about. Later this week, as I get into Resident Evil 7, we'll tackle whether or not I'm going to be doing, let's say, a first impressions video on Resident Evil 7 at some point for KO Gaming. Later this week, there's a possibility I may start playing Yakuza 0. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to promise anything of when those will start or if they're going to happen, but it's a strong possibility, all right? The only thing I really want to say at this point, okay, is thanks everyone for a great month, okay? I do appreciate that people have been coming out every single day, no matter what I've been playing. Zelda, has it been the most popular thing? No. But you guys have kind of been the core fan base that have been here every day to watch Zelda regardless. Dark Souls was very successful. Great views on YouTube. Great views on stream every day. Sadly, everyone, though, I'm going to be real talk here. This month, business-wise, is not good. And has nothing to do with you. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with YouTube sucking. And basically having absolutely no ad revenue in the month of January. Which is stupid. They load all of their advertisements into November, December for the holidays. And then when January hits, it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter how many views I get. Basically, my money plummets to the toilet. And there's nothing I could do about it, and there's nothing you could really do about it, all right? So in this regard, okay, I'm just throwing this out there, okay? There's 8 days left in the month of January. If you haven't considered it yet, you might want to consider pledging to my Patreon. Hint, hint, it would really help me right now, because the bottom line is in 2 months, in March, I'm basically going to be getting paid for YouTube revenue for January. And from everything that I've seen, it's not been good. It's really bad. It sucks, and that's not good. Because if I can't pay my bills in March, it's going to be kind of tough for me to be buying all the games in March, including all the big ones, like freaking Mass Effect, which is one of the biggest ones I want to do. You know, and the last thing I would want to do is to not be able to cover the major releases, because YouTube basically sucks and screws everything up in January every single year. So please, if you haven't yet, consider pledging to my Patreon. Keep in mind that the goal this month for Patreon is a Patron's Choice playthrough. If you pledge $5 or more, you'll be able to nominate and vote on the game that it will be. And you get other perks as well, personal perks for pledging to my Patreon, all right? If Patreon is not your thing, you can consider subscribing right here on Twitch, okay? And or cheering with bits during the course of the stream. Basically anything that you can do, you know what I mean? A lot of people say, what's the best method? Well, from what I'm to understand, bit cheering is the best, because bit cheering, I guess Twitch doesn't take anything away from it at all. Okay. However, bit cheering, Twitch takes away from you. Like, if you're going to buy bits on Twitch, apparently they take a cut out of your money. Okay. I get the full money, but they take a cut out of yours. Patreon, they don't take a cut out of your money, but they take a cut out of mine. But it's a small cut. From what I understand, like, the least profitable thing is the subs. Yeah, because I guess they take 50%. Twitch takes 50% of subscriber revenue. So by far, if you're going to choose one, I would say either go Patreon route or go bits route. Subscribers are nice, don't get me wrong, but, you know, Twitch is taking half of that. So if you can only do one, I recommend doing one of the others, okay? All right. So, yes, please consider pledging if you have not this month, because 8 days left, and I'm being real here, okay? I need your help. I'm really nervous about this month, and I'm really nervous about March when I get paid for this month, that I'm not going to be able to pay my damn bills. Now, I am doing some things behind the scenes. I'm doing some things behind the scenes to try to help my financial position. I have not been talking about them publicly because really you don't need to know about them. So don't worry too much about that. But definitely, if you can help, please consider doing so, all right? As I said many times before, even $1 a month helps. Okay. All right, that's really it. That's all I want to say. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's conclude Zelda. Let's get this on the books. And let's move on, you know, later today to Resident Evil. I'm excited. I hope you are as well, okay? All right, that's it. Thanks, everyone. And let's get started.